There's two kinds of men: those who are like eagles and those who are like rodents. So the men that are like eagles, they tend to soar above everything and take a high level view of everything. And fundamentally, these men decide what they want and then figure out how to get it afterwards. Then there's the rodent-like men. The rodent-like men, they scurry around on the forest floor and they just have this mindset of, there's no point picking and choosing, I have to take what's available. These are the kind of men who will take any job because they act desperate. They will accept any woman because they have this scarcity mindset. They have this mindset of, I have to accept what's available, I have to accept what I can get. These are the rodent men. So the eagle men, the men who are like eagles, they have a race to the top mindset. They will never compete on price. They will never say, look at me, I'm the cheapest guy, so that's why you should buy from me. The rodent-like men will exactly be like that. They will say, look at me, I'm the cheapest. I have nothing special to offer you, but I am the cheapest, so that's why you should buy from me. When it comes to the world of relationships and marriage, the rodent-like men are, well, they're all, look, all I can offer you is being a provider. I can offer you my income, but that's it. That's all I can offer you. I have nothing on top of that. I have no emotional intelligence. I haven't worked on myself as a human being. I haven't figured out what life is about. All I care about is the fact that I've got a job and I can offer you a little bit of so-called stability and income. Again, it's a race to the bottom. They're offering what practically every man can offer, and they're not offering anything else above that. In the world of work, the rodent man offers obedience. So when he's at a job interview and they say, what can you do for us? He effectively says, I will do whatever you tell me to do, no matter how evil or embarrassing or shameful it is. I will do it. I offer you my obedience. That's pretty much it. It's that race to the bottom mindset. It's competing on the lowest possible metric, and in work the lowest possible metric is obedience. Look at me, I will do whatever you say. I'm not anything special, I don't bring anything unique to the negotiation. I will just do whatever you say, and that is why you should value me. Again, it's that rodent-like mentality. So the men with a rodent-like mentality invariably have a scarcity mindset. They're always desperate, and they also see human beings as interchangeable pieces rather than unique individuals. And there's a classic scene in Pride and Prejudice where, was it Mr. Collins? Yeah, it was Collins, his name. And he's not a very high value man, but he suddenly comes into some money, and then he decides, well, I can now marry a high quality woman. And then he goes to the Bennets and he asks for their oldest daughter. And then when he finds out that their oldest daughter has already been engaged, he just goes to the next one. Now that scene just shows the absurdity of the rodent-like man. So for him, there's no choosing. It's like any woman is as good as any other. So he's effectively showing his impotence there. The fact that he doesn't see women as attractive creatures or attractive versus unattractive, like that spectrum doesn't exist for him. It's like all women are the same. And talking of that mentality of one doesn't work out, going straight to the next, that's what you see on all these apps, these abhorrent apps where you commoditize yourself. You are a picture, a height, an income, and then if they don't like it, they swipe to the next one. If you don't like it, swipe to the next one. Is there a better textbook case study implementation of a race to the bottom mindset than these apps, where every human being is reduced to a tiny one-dimensional image of what you are, and then people just make their decision based on this tiny bit of information, and then swipe to the next one, swipe to the next one. It's an absolute festival of a race to the bottom mentality. The opposite of that is something like manifesting. So the reason I think manifesting puts people into such a positive mindset is because a girl who, let's say she's manifesting her ideal husband, she will not be found on these apps because she has decided that that is what she wants and that is what she's going to get, regardless of how it's going to happen. Again, that's another part of manifesting, which is you don't worry about how. And it saves you from getting into this race to the bottom scarcity mindset, because manifesting gets you into this idea of, I'm going to focus on how. Well, no, I'm not going to focus on how. I'm going to focus on what I want, and then I'm going to trust God to figure out the rest for me. Now, trusting God is one of the pillars of success. People who are successful in a real sense, they always have a strong element of trusting God in the process. That's why, you know, when guys are rich and then you ask them how they got rich and they'll say, oh, I worked really hard. To an extent, right? To an extent. Maybe they worked hard at trusting God, because it's not easy. It's not easy to trust God. It's a lot easier just to say everything is in my own hands and I just have to hustle and make things happen. That will get you into a rodent mindset, because that's what rodents do. Now, if you try to adopt an eagle mindset, if you try to just kind of soar above everything and wait for, let's say you're a man looking for the right woman, if you're adopting an eagle mindset, you will, for the most part, just be gliding, right? Gliding, because you will not see the ideal woman every single day. You will not see the ideal woman on a regular basis. If you're going right for the best woman, she's a once in a lifetime catch, and it's not something that will just happen just like that. But you are vigilant and you are on the lookout. Of course you are. But what will people say to you, especially people who in this society have adopted a rodent-like mindset? They're going to see you just kind of coasting because you're gliding like an eagle, and they're going to say, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you doing anything? You should be doing things. You should be pushing. Hustle. Why aren't you going on the apps? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Again, they're trying to get you to go down to their level, right? Ground level, where it's not rich pickings. It's just everything. Like on an app, a dating app, you and everybody else there, it's a festival of the people who have given up. Right? The men on these apps are the guys who have given up. The women are the ones who have given up. It's just everyone who has given up is now getting together for a festival of let's see what we can get. It's a festival of desperation. That's what these apps are. That's why I like the idea of manifesting. I think it gets people away from all this trash. It really does. And so, yeah, there you are. It's an eagle-like mentality you want to adopt, right? You soar above everything. You're vigilant constantly, and you get away from this terrible idea of, oh, I have to accept what I can get. No, all right? You can do better than that. I think everybody can do better than that.